You are an incredible trial attorney. What's the best case that you can make for Trump 2020?
The best case for Trump 2020 is
LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down. LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down.
Okay, welcome to LawFlip. It's an unfiltered conversation about law, life, politics, and so much more. So I'm Benjy Smith. So when you think of the top trial attorneys, particularly those under 40-ish, this lawyer is arguably at the top. Since 2012, he's tried over 30 cases to verdict and as lead, totaling over $100 million of verdicts. I probably need to update those numbers, and you'll let us know.
Yeah, that's an old one. Old.
Excited to have Bob Simon on the show. To the listeners, please share this episode with people who you think will find it helpful. Bob, let's flip the game upside down. So, Bob, happy to be back at our office. We have a really crazy dynamic. We have a camera behind me. You're on a big screen. We're filming some of this through Zoom. We're looking forward to having you in the studio next time. But you're one of the top dogs as a plaintiff's attorney. You have a firm of over 70 employees, and you just started a lawyer-like WeWork called Justice HQ. We're going to get into all of it, but where did things start for you? Where did you grow up?
Wow. So I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I think is the beginning of the Midwest, how we grew up. One of five. My dad's a UPS truck driver. I was the oldest of five, tied. I'm 6 minutes older than my twin brother, a.k.a. my law partner now. I'm still very close with all of our siblings. We started our new companies together. And I think the reason we were so close is because the five of us shared one bathroom growing up. So
a true rags to riches story. And then tell us about your education. Take us through your education.
All right. So I went to Carleton High School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Graduated third in my class. My twin brother was fifth. I never let him forget that. He did beat me on the SATs by a couple of points, but we won't talk about that. Then we both went to George Washington University in Washington, D.C. Then after 4 years there, got on the first plane ride I've ever been on and went to beautiful Los Angeles, California to check out Pepperdine Law School. And as soon as I went there, I was like, this is where I will go. Thank you very much. I went to Pepperdine. And that is it.
Yeah, and then you took the bar, and then at some point you started your own firm, but did you start somewhere else before you did?
Yeah, so I started with another firm that did personal injury, a boutique firm called Lederer Nojima. John Nojima is still a very good friend of mine, lives close to me in Manhattan Beach. But yeah, I started there as a law clerk right after my first year. I was working full time and then going to law school. I got 2 good years as a law clerk and then 2.5 really good years, almost 3 years as an attorney there before I had enough seed money and I thought experience to be able to start my own firm.
So you started your own firm. Where'd you start it?
So I started 11755 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1170. So I rented one office from Mike Hughes, another fantastic trial lawyer who unfortunately just passed away a few weeks ago from cancer. He's the one that beat Big Tobacco on those billion-dollar verdicts. But I rented an office from him. It was me and a copier. I hired my little brother, Brandon, out of college. He also went to George Washington. So, yeah.
How old were you at the time?
Office. I was 29.
29 years old. Okay, so you start your own firm. How did you get to the point where you felt comfortable that this was going to be a firm that was going to be successful?
I don't think I reached that point until maybe 5 or 6 years into having my own law firm. But
okay, so how did it start? So what did the first few years look like?
So first few years were like, just trying to figure it out. And I always said, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, doesn't work, so what? And go back to work for another firm. Doesn't matter much. But my biggest goal at that time was to get my entire family out here. My other twin brother came to law school at Southwestern. I hired my little brother out to work for me out of college, he now went to law school after that. He's a lawyer at our firm, a partner at our firm now, Brandon Simon. But that's kind of where it started in 2009. We got so busy, my little brother and I, is we just needed help. So I had my twin brother who was very good at managing and like motion writing. He was writing our motions for us. Like I just couldn't keep up because I had tried, I think 3 cases my first year out, and doing it as a solo was very hard. Like that was a big mistake. Like I should not have been doing that. It was very taxing on mentally,
you shouldn't have done what? You shouldn't have tried the cases, or you shouldn't have been trying to do all the management of the office as well?
All of those things. So I think the biggest mistake was I thought I could do everything without having help. I got really good results on all 3 of those trials, but very taxing mentally, physically. The office would fall behind because I wasn't able there to follow up on the other cases. There's stuff that had to happen. That's when I decided that my twin brother said, hey, man, you got to come help. You know how to run businesses. This is your thing. So then we formed the Simon Law Group in 2010. My twin brother left his job and then has been running our machine ever since and taking that all things to the next level. So it allowed me to try cases and take depositions. And then from there, we started just hiring people that we thought would be fantastic personalities, fantastic hires if they would fit into the mold wherever. And, we started out being very good at getting cases and then figuring out what to do with them and referring them to other lawyers associating in big firms. And that's how I learned how to try cases on a very big level.
Yeah.
And now it flipped. Talk about LawFlip, it flipped. Now, most of my business, 90+%, is from other lawyers on bigger cases that they need trial or litigation help on. But yeah, one of our first lawyer hire was Tom Fair, who just went out on his own. I think the world of Tom. And
yeah, we had the Fair Bear on. The Fair Bear on. He was great.
Yeah, Tom's one of the best trial lawyers I know. He came in as a very green kid from Pepperdine, but he just had the ultimate drive. And, my brother and I interviewed him. We had it was our first associate, right? And we wanted somebody to help us do litigation, right? And I was like, I don't care what we thought we were hiring. This guy walked in the door. He's got something and an appetite you can't ever satisfy. Let's make this work.
Yeah.
And it did. So, yeah.
So you guys basically do almost 100% plaintiff contingency, primarily personal injury, correct?
Correct. It's 100% contingency, 100% consumer, probably 95% true PI. I mean, we do some other stuff here and there. I mean, I do a couple mass torts cases, but very, 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 very little, very little.
And tell us just about the contingency model. So what is the contingency model? Why do you like doing the contingency model?
So we don't get paid per hour, we get paid per haps. And I think I like having a vested interest with our client to make sure you hit that home run. I hate hiring lawyers and you see 0.3 hours to email somebody back. Like, what the F are you talking about, bro? Like, that didn't take you that long. It's just stupid. So in this model, our clients can get the same competency for a lawyer, or for the same price, you can get the best of the best, or a run-of-the-mill lawyer because you're charging the same percentage. So it's the only way I truly believe to level the playing field against the other side.
I couldn't agree more. How have you went from being a solo to having 70 employees with multiple offices, 10-year span? What do you attribute to that scaling and not losing your mind and really building a balanced company?
I was blessed to have a twin brother who's a lot more conservative than I am. I was always the push, he was always the pull, and still is. I'm always more of the risk taking. Let's grow this thing. Let's make it X, Y, Z. But it always started with a big vision of what I want it to look like, right? And I always tell people, I do a lot of what I think is like being an agent for lawyers. People come to me with, hey, what should I do with my career? Where should I go? How do I do what you want to do? And I say, first thing I think is, what do you want to do? Like, if you had your ideal world 5 years from now, what's your day-to-day? What do you see yourself doing? And then they tell me that, and I say, why are you not taking steps to get there, right? So my goal was always to be that trial lawyer, to do the trials, to be the face of the firm, to bring in cases and do nothing else. That's always what I wanted to do. And I found a way to do that by hiring people to do those other things we didn't want to do. Well, we now evolve that into outsourcing to those things that you don't want to do. Instead of having employees do it, you outsource on a contract basis, which I'm a big fan of. And I think that's the way the world should go. Mm-hmm. Outsource. So my day-to-day now is I'm finally at a point where I can do a lot more creative stuff. Like, I grew up in a very creative environment with our family. I like to build things. I like entrepreneurism. I see a trial as a new business every time you take it on, and it has different commodities. You have different equity stakes in it. And that's just the way that I look at everything. I like every case I build it, you see a resolution. There it is, right? So I do that same thing with companies. But now that's my day to day. What does
a day look like? I know no 2 days are the same, but like, what do you try to do with your days these days?
I'm a very early morning person. I'm in bed early at night, like 8:30 sometimes is late for me, just depends. But I mean, I got kids. I got a 3-year-old and a 2-week-old right now. And when they're in bed, I try to get my sleep. I'm usually up early before the kids are up. I try to get a workout in. I think if you start behind in the day, you never catch up. You just feel that stress and anxiety, emails coming in and text, right? So I get up early, I get a workout in, and then just try to answer some quick emails, start fresh. Now I do kid stuff in the morning. I'm a big work balance guy. I like to be there for my family. My dad was always there for us, my mom and my dad. So that's how I do things. I get to work and I grind. We're blessed now to have help. Like we moved our whole family out here. My brothers and sisters all live out here. My dad lives down the street. My mom lives here. So I'm blessed to have that help. So that's what I do. And then every day is completely different. I mean, I could be taking a deposition one day. Before COVID, I could be in a trial up in North County one day. Don't know, right?
But you are still trying cases pretty consistently?
Last year, I did 3, but all 3 of them were like 6-week trials. I was on a pace where I was doing about 6 or 7 a year. I do a lot of spine cases, a lot of fusion and discectomy cases. I think that's my specialty. I did a product liability one for 6 weeks on a quadriplegic in the fall. I mean, I did a 6-week liability case in Sacramento about a year ago today. So now I find I'm doing more of those longer trials, but my bread and butter are the spine fusion cases I love to do. But I am still trying cases. I think of myself more now as a trial director where I'm mentoring lawyers to show them how to try it, and then I'll come in for very specialized. And this is my bigger thought. I do think that law could be so compartmentalized, just like baseball, right? Like you need a lefty to come in and strike out a lefty, one person.
But why has our profession been so reluctant to do this?
You know why? Is because everybody thought you had to have a firm and the firm had to do X, Y, Z. If you had a bunch of solo practitioners or small law firms that specialize in one particular thing, and we've been doing this, like if you just want to do sex abuse cases, just do those. Outsource the rest, work on those. And like we associate people in to do all kinds of stuff like that.
Why is it so important to compartmentalize?
Because you could specialize. Compartmentalize means specialize, max profits. You can actually do what you want to do all day and do what you're good at. Like a general practitioner for a like medical doctor, right? A GP. They know a little bit about everything, but not a lot about a specialty.
Right.
So you always got to get referred to the specialist. So why don't the specialized people just do what they do? But why don't we do that in trials? So I've been discussing this with our firm. We've been trying in a few trials where like my forte in trial is picking juries and cross-examination. Those are by far my 2 strongest suits, and like reading people. But so what I have done is we've been doing that, where people that are good at picking jurors will come in and pick the jury and tell the jury, hey, do you mind if I'm not here every day and I just come in, like we're trying to get this case to you very quickly. Do you mind if we do it quickly? Is that okay? They're like, oh yeah. Right. So I'm gonna have like 4 or 5 people come in here and just get witnesses in and out, get you the evidence so you can make a decision. How do you feel about that? Great. So I see it like this, like I do so many spine cases. I would love to just get tagged in for a couple percentage to come in one day and just eviscerate the defense experts, or 2 days, whatever, right? I mean, why not do this? Right. And then, I mean, the jury would be like, who is this effing dude that just walked in here? And the witness would be like, oh my God, like, I just filed an association today. Nice to see you, doctor. Where were you on Monday? Oh yeah, I was cross-examining you down the hall. How'd that go for you, right? But we're not there yet. Like, so for some people think that you have to have that, you always should have one lawyer there that has the connection with the jury. Why not do this? Like, I don't know. I just like
it's a whole box. No, I do too.
Yeah.
And it's this legacy business that we're in has been so tough to challenge, and you think that you're wrong for trying to challenge, but I've seen you do a lot of it, and I think it's great. Where is just like we're talking about this, where has the legal profession gotten it wrong? Where are they still getting it wrong?
I think they're still getting it wrong by not giving the younger generation an opportunity right away. It makes no sense to me. I've had people come. I've had a law clerk who has tried 3 cases as the lead and gotten 6-figure verdicts in the past 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, name is Robbie Munoz at Chapman. He just graduated.
And that's more verdicts than 99.9% of the entire legal community combined.
Correct, but he has that it factor to him, and he's learned, and you have to have a lawyer supervised as a certified law clerk, so somebody was there for him, did a few witnesses, but he did at least one big part of it, like either opening or closing and a big witness. So he was lead on those cases and got big verdicts. So I think the biggest problem with the law in general thinks is that if you're young, you're inexperienced, and you got to pay your dues. I think that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think that people under 40, I just turned 40, but people under 40 and under, I think are at a special time right now to absolutely excel. And they need to be embraced. And I don't care what a person's age is, you should not have to wait to pay your dues in order to prove yourself.
Well, you have people like Mark Zuckerberg, they drop out of college and they start Facebook, one of the biggest companies in the world. For some reason, not only do we think that you have to go to college and law school, you also then have to basically be, relegated to the lowest level of whatever it is and get no exposure. And like, you're supposed to be a sophisticated attorney, but you cannot run your own business at, when you get out of law school. You can't do that. Like, people don't even go to high school and they start their own business. For some reason, we have these old ideas, and I think you're doing a great job sort of transitioning the mindset of all these young attorneys. So just as to like trying the case. So we're all selling ourselves. What is the key to selling a jury on millions of dollars?
I think the key on selling the jury millions of dollars is letting them know that you believe it. I think that as a trial lawyer, I always tell juries this. I say, credibility is never given, it's earned. It's never given, right? At the end of this trial, you're going to show that you're going to learn that I've been credible. Everything I'm telling you is going to be true. It's going to make sense. I'm not going to waste your time. So at the end of this day, when I ask you for $15 million, I hopefully have gained your credibility. And if I haven't, give my client zero. Don't matter to me. But I think if you are genuine, if you take the time to explain things to juries, and just be yourself, right? If you have that credibility, dude, it goes a long way. Like, I've had juries give me exactly what I've asked for. Yeah. So, and one of them was on a dare. Like, Grayson Goody, who's another one of our partners, the first case we ever tried together in 2014, he was like, we picked a really good jury. Like, I loved it. Like, everything fell our way. Like, it was really good. And I'm about to do opening, and I was like, man, I feel good. Like, I think I should just ask for my number in opening just to get it out there, because we couldn't do it in jury selection. And I was like, what should we ask for here, man? And he's like, ask for $15 million. I was like, bro, are you on crack? Like, I was like, look, I love my client. I think he deserves it. And he was like, if you think he deserves it, get up there and ask for it. And Grayson was fresh out of law school, so I was like, all right, it. Oh, sorry. So okay. I was like, all right, F it. So I walked right up there and I told the jury, I went through everything, and I said, at the end of this, we're going to ask you for $5 million for past pain and suffering, and future of $10 million pain and suffering. We're going to prove every point to you. It's going to be with science. I don't care if there's no impact to the back of this car. This is all just mumbo jumbo the defense is going to sell you. Defense lawyer is going to get up right away and just hold up property damage photos and say, look, there's not enough damage to the car. You can't be hurt. I'm going to tell you that's what's going to happen, but I'm shooting with you straight. Bypass 10 future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. They gave it to the dime on that case. Yeah.
How hard was it for you to keep a straight face?
Well, I was in the moment. Like, at that point, I was in the moment. Like, yeah. Because I believe it. Like, if you.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, I can't do it unless I believe it. You know,
okay.
Man?
Speaking of believing, somebody that's not very believable, President Trump. You have been a quite outspoken critic of the president, and I wonder, what are your considerations as a prominent trial attorney for A, speaking your mind, B, you may offend some people.
So I don't care people's political affiliation. I have a lot of very good friends that are conservatives, and I'm conservative in a lot of ways, right? I just very much hate whenever people are being hypocritical or people are being tricked and fooled, and to people's disadvantage. So the number one reason I'm hypocritical of our president is he divides this nation. I think that leaders, whatever industry you're in, and certainly the president, you should unite your people together, hands down. And what I was off, I would do Facebook a little bit here and there, more on Instagram, doing fun things, being with the family. And I was away from the political stuff for a while until like this Trump stuff started happening. And then whenever, George Floyd was killed, and I'm a big social justice person, and I have a lot of Black American friends, and when this really pissed me off. And then when Trump got out in his podium and started saying when the looters start, the shooting starts, like it caused something in me, it triggered something, and it was just, this has to stop. Like,
how much would you enjoy being able to cross-examine Trump in front of the world? Like,
Oh.
don't you think it would be just an unbelievable thing to have him under penalty of perjury?
Not only do I think that, I have dreamt it and I have fantasized about cross-examining Trump. And I do this thing to witnesses all the time. When they get up there and just talk, speaking a bunch of mumbo jumbo, I would just say, is there anything else? Would you like to tell the jury anything else? Just go ahead. Get it out there right now. Just keep letting them go. Look, I honestly think, dude, how you beat Trump, I would cross-examine him in a debate.
What would you ask him? What would you ask him?
Oh, I would just get up there and answer a question, or ask a question that he couldn't answer. Like, well, how do you feel about XYZ? And then play a clip where he said 3 years ago he felt the other way. And then just keep, there would be no right answer because I'd have a clip ready to impeach him with it. Impeach. And it's like, dude, you lie every single day.
Can you make Robert, Bob Simon?
Yeah.
You are an incredible trial attorney. What's the best case that you can make for Trump 2020?
The best case for Trump 2020 is the wussification of America has happened for the political left. They are running anarchy through our cities. We have to have the law and order come in and stop this madness. We have to band together as patriots. They will disband all of the police units. We won't have police to keep us safe, and they'll be doing what they did in Seattle.
Now do Biden 2020.
Biden 2020 is, this guy's a liar, cheat, and a fraud. Here's all the evidence. We have to work together as Americans. We have to stop racism in its tracks. I have made mistakes with my crime bills in the past. I'm going to show you how we're going to remedy it right here. I have hopefully by this point dubbed a very strong black American female to be my vice president. If I want to win this election as Joe Biden, I will come out and say I will not run for a second term. My goal is to groom this vice president to take over the presidency of the United States and start a new America. That's how you win.
Okay. I feel pumped up, ready to go. Okay.
There you go.
How do young lawyers and even older lawyers who still have an opportunity to change, how do the lawyers of this great state or great country make it so that they could be happy practicing law? All
right, so I'm a big work-life balance guy. If you want to be happy practicing law, you have to define your happiness first. Some people find happy in just making as much money as they can. Some people find happy in spending quality time with their loved ones. Some people find happy just in being successful, to be given accolades and awards. So once you define how you're happy, take steps to get it. I think that lawyers that are the happiest are going to be ones that work for themselves or be of counsel for a firm. If you're not calling your own shots, you will never be happy. If you're not making, like, I have no problem working late nights or weekends because it's my dime. Right? It's something that I get to choose the cases, so I'm passionate about it. And at the end of the day, it's going to be something that makes, hopefully, myself and my family money.
Yep.
Right? So I honest to God think that after COVID, people are realizing you don't need office space. You can run something from your home. You can work virtually. You can be your own boss. You can work from home. So why not do it? It makes no sense to me why people are not taking that initiative to start their own. And we've encouraged lawyers in our own firm.
I was going to say, you've put your money where your mouth is, and you've also started Justice HQ. What is Justice HQ, and how is that going to facilitate the very thing you just discussed?
Yeah, so Justice HQ is a tech platform with built-in community of high-level lawyers. It's membership-driven, so you have to apply or be approved to get in, and it also comes with the office space. So it's kind of like the Soho House meets WeWork model. But it comes with a lot of tech that's involved with it, so that you could leave a firm tomorrow, be a startup solo, have everything in place for you that comes with mail, scan, and sort. So your mail gets directly to your app or to your Outlook, goes directly to your case management software. You have a searchable Google tab with all the members that you can one-click. You have a high-level communication on our messaging platform where you get real-time advice. We do weekly case collaborations to help people grow their practices. And by cutting everybody's costs, because we've done a lot of efficiency that all over the APIs talk on the back end, people can actually fee split. So a lot of these cases, we have 3 or 4 lawyers on every case from different firms.
Wow, that's so
cool.
So
a big fee sharing. Yeah, so somebody's getting 5 points for the motion writing. Somebody's agreeing to do 10 or 15% to be the trial lawyer. There's a general to run the case for 25%.
No way, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the way the world should be. So if you're a trial
you're saying
lawyer,
if somebody's because okay, so candidly, I'm not a law and motion lover, right? So for those of us who have our own firms and we don't love doing law and motion, there are attorneys out there that will come in and just say, hey, whatever law and motion comes into this case, we'll take X%.
Correct. And it's just a big free market system because Justice HQ is not a law firm. It just runs the tech platform, the efficiency, the community, and the office space, right? So the members just coordinate. They sign a fee sharing agreement, come to agreement, whatever they're going to do. So people can look and see if they want to do it. And everything's on the same platform, so it's easy to share information and do it. So why not? Like the idea being that you can have a law firm in the box. You could be a solo practitioner and have 100% in the equity all the way through, or give away 50, 60, or even 10% of your equity and let other people do the work for you that they specialize in it. So at my firm, at Microcosm, I get 50 to 100 cases that are shopped to me a week. We used to say yes to 5 or 6, right? Because we have a certain threshold. We only do injury cases. So now I have this network of lawyers that we've been pre-screened. They're high-quality lawyers, high-ethical lawyers, that if there's a mass torts case that comes in the door, I'm like, oh, well, let me ask so-and-so. She just left her firm of 20 years. She's like, oh, this is a great case. This is really easy. So, okay, well, I'll help you fund it. I'll give you X% of the case. Let's run it together. So we've opened up other like streams of revenue at our firm by taking other cases. So, I mean, that's just a microcosm how we've been able to use it to kick cases into the membership. There's a lot of people that only do pre-lit that are members that just want it. They don't. We've outsourced our pre-litigation too. Yeah. Like, why not?
Yeah. And so what's the cost and then how has COVID affected things?
So it's funny is COVID is actually re-emphasized the importance of what we're doing because I've been showing people how to work virtually and you don't need office space. That we were influx with membership requests because they saw that our lawyers were still running cases, doing virtual depositions. All the mail was going to them remotely. They were running their law firms from their home. And that's the reason we can keep the membership dues are $1,500 a month. For that, you get the mail scan and sort. You can reserve your conference rooms, your office rooms, any of our locations. You can access the community, all the webinars, like all the community events, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it that you get with it, but that allows people to come in that pay less. So if you have a huge office space, downtown LA for us is like 12,000 square feet, like 19 private offices, 6 conference rooms, but people aren't there every day.
Sure.
So if you, instead of paying
like equities of scale.
Yeah. So if I used to pay, when I started 11 years ago, my own firm, one office with no collaboration, with nothing, was $1,750. I remember $1,750. That's what I paid. It was a lot of money. I got nothing with that. This you can even print, scan, mail, get all your mail too. All that is built into it. And the reason why we keep it lower is because people were giving people the tools not to be in the office every day. Come in when you need to. Come in to take a meeting or to collaborate, take a deposition, or come in for fun. Like we have a lot of like games and stuff that we do that are cool, you know. But all of my best friends are lawyers. We hang out together all the time. So we build a clubhouse for high-level lawyers so you can come in to hang out. Like I'll go in one day a week to play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends in the back room. Don't tell my wife. We won't show her that. We won't let her air that. But I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons guy, but it sounds like you could have a good time with it. All right, so let's move on to Deal of the Week. My deal of the week is be vulnerable. Be open about your challenges, because what I've found is when I've opened myself up to others about what's going on with me, either professionally or personally, you find that, first of all, you find out, like, are you talking to a real person on the other side? Are you talking to somebody who can actually open up to you? And you build genuine, real relationships. So I think it's be vulnerable, be open to being vulnerable. Bob, what's your deal of the week?
So I have a couple deals of the week, and then I'll have a tip of the week.
Okay.
So I think they're a little bit different. So one of my first deals of the week is KO Beauty Body, or what's it called? It's the Body Beautiful Oil.
Okay.
This is what I use to keep this beard so nice.
Gorgeous.
And straight lines. Gorgeous. Yeah. People ask me how do I do for my beard care. There you go. Available like everywhere. Just look for it. Another one that I love to keep you chill. Sleep is very important to me. I like to do a little bit of Plus gummies at night. Not afraid. I like the purple ones a lot. This is the Uplift one, but I use Relief Club. They do subscription boxes.
Okay.
So reliefclub.com.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, with like RLEAF, and then of course Justice HQ is there.
Love it. That is a wow.
And my day drinking whiskey, which is the Double Rye.
That was a 4 for 1. That was incredible. Amazing deal of the week. Okay, so now we're on to
tip of the week.
So now we're on to legal tip of the week. So this is sponsored by Smith & Benowitz. we're now the anti-Karen law firm. So if you have any Karens in your workplace, a racist boss, a sexual harasser, someone who doesn't pay you appropriately, we're the anti-Karen law firm. Call Smith and Benowitz. We're here for you. Bob, what's your legal tip of the week?
What do you do with Chads and Brads, though?
Well, that's for next week's tip.
My tip of the week is invest in yourself. Like, I don't invest money in the stock market. I've always just put money back into my firm or to myself. I didn't come from money. Everything was self-funded. I didn't take out lines of credit when I started this thing. I just put everything back into me, and it's worked out wonderfully and tenfold. So there's no better asset than yourself. There's no better rate of return than a law firm that you have. Trust me on this. It's very big if you do it the right way, and you have complete control. Why worry about some knucklehead on Wall Street or some company you've never heard of?
I love it.
Worry about your dime.
I love it. Yeah? Okay, now we're on to our ad for rock, paper. So, Bob, isn't it scary? I know you find this scary. When you sign up for a subscription, but the trial period requires your credit card?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be great if you never had to submit your actual credit card number, or you could block the merchant from charging you until you've approved it?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Well, Bob, that's how it is. With Rock Paper, you create a proxy credit card on demand that's linked to your actual credit card or debit card. The merchant can only charge you when you say so, and you don't have to give your actual credit card number to another third party. It's that simple. Get Rock Paper, ROCKPAPR. Join the movement.
I would use that all day.
Yeah, and you're going to. What did we learn today? We learned that Bob would love the opportunity to cross-examine Trump. We learned that you should invest in yourself. We learned that you should get high on gummies at night and use that beautiful KO, is it Kato? Cream for your KO for your beard. We learned that young lawyers don't have to join big firms or be part of a old apparatus. They can join something like Justice HQ. They can be the masters of their own destiny. And we learned that you don't have to be miserable to be a lawyer. It's a reoccurring theme on LawFlip. And so,
good.
Bob, where do we find you on social media, and what parting words do you have for the LawFlip audience?
So, social media, I am at Planet Fun Bob. That's my handle, at Planet Fun Bob.
Is that like one of those Dungeons and Dragons references?
No.
Okay.
No, that's my friends used to say, like, when Planet Fun Bob was in orbit, you got to hang on because it's going to be a hell of a ride. It's just the old thing they used to say. So, plus all the Robert Simons were taken by then. I was late to the Instagram game. But at the Simon Law Group, or go to my Justice Team, justiceteam.com, Justice Team Podcast, whatever, or at justice.hq on Instagram. But I think parting words for you, brother, is find those things that you had fun doing as a kid and find a way to do that as an adult and in your life, right? I have fun every day. I love what I do. When I'm in trial, I get to joke around with my friends because I try cases with a lot of my buddies because I think that's the way that it should be. You should learn how to de-stress. Lawyers have the highest stress levels, like one of the highest jobs of stress in the world. Why? It makes no sense, man. People try to take on too much and think about their bottom line in that specific situation. Learn to outsource, collaborate with your peers, and make practicing law fun again.
Amazing. Okay, so check us everywhere, YouTube, social media. We got a new program called Karens at Work, where we detail all the way that Karens mess up the workplace. So if you aren't following along, then maybe you are a Karen yourself. Who knows? So follow us at Smith Benowitz, at LawFlip, at Benjy Smith, at Wages Guru. We're here for it all. Bob, thank you so much. We had a great time with you. Really appreciate it. Look forward to continuing our friendship and really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down. LawFlip, objection, Your Honor. Turn the game upside down.
Okay, so Ariane, they're asking where they could find us. So for LawFlip, it's at LawFlip and LawFlip.com. For Smith & Benowitz, our law firm, which does personal injury employment and class actions, you can find us at Smith Benowitz and SmithBenowitz.com. For the personal stuff, like where you're really going to find the juicy stuff, at Benjy Smith and BenjySmith.com. @WagesGuru and LewisBenowitz.com for Lewis. Oh, so LawFlip is produced, directed, and edited by the young legend Aryan Tabibian. Visual effects and compositions by another young legend, Oren Azad. Intro music provided by Pen Practice. Pen Practice, what is it? Premium instrumentals for upcoming artists by the music industry's top producers. For more info, visit penpracticemusic.com. I had so much fun recording the intro song with my man Hilton Deuce Wright. Looking forward to hearing more and more from Pen Practice. So the LawFlip identity, this hot logo that you're looking at, created by Garrett Whiston and Travis Nagel. Special thank you to Shai and Seth from the Horwitz Marketing Agency. A huge thank you to Aaron and Vanessa from Smith & Benowitz for endlessly dealing with all of our podcast bullshit. And lastly, a huge thank you to our beautiful wives, Julie and Lisa, for supporting our vision, and all the love to all of our 4 boys combined. Disclaimer, this podcast is made available by Smith & Benowitz for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is only intended to provide general information and opinions about legal and other concepts, and is not intended to be used as a source of legal advice or relied on for legal advice. By listening to this podcast, you understand that no attorney-client relationship is being formed between you and Smith & Benowitz or any of its attorneys. This podcast should not be used as a substitute for competent legal advice from a licensed professional attorney in your state.